Hey guys, it's Lacey. Today we're going to talk about how I got involved in the zero waste movement and some biblical reasons that I have found to back up this lifestyle. When watching YouTube videos, I found that everyone was either Christian videos or they had zero waste videos, and I could never find anyone who did both, who was a Christian but also practiced a zero waste or low impact movement. But through research and things like that, I found a lot of biblical reasons to back up the zero waste movement or a low impact life, and I thought that I would share those with you today. So I'm going to start out with a little bit of a disclaimer. Obviously, I am not a pastor. I do not know everything, but this is what I found through what I've read in the Bible and what I've learned about zero waste and low impact movements. So today I have my Bible with me. This is a ESV version of the Bible, and that's what I'm going to be reading from. And let's go ahead and get into the video. The first verse that I'm going to use is from Matthew. It's chapter 25, verses 14 through 30. And if you're familiar with this, it is the parable of the talents. And in this passage, Jesus tells this story about a man who gave money to 3 of his servants and told them that he was going on a trip and they had to take care of the money. And the first 2, which were given larger portions of money, went out, invested the money, and when their master came back, they had doubled the money that they had been given. And the last one took and was afraid to invest it and afraid to lose it, and so he buried it. When the master came back, the last one simply had what he had been given because he had kept it safe rather than investing it. And the point of this story that Jesus told was to say that we're supposed to be good stewards of whatever he gave us. So obviously not everything that Jesus or God gives us is money. He's actually given us everything. So if you go to 1 Chronicles in chapter 29, verse 14, it says, "But who am I and what is my people that we should be able to thus offer willingly? For all things come from you, and of your own we have been given to you." And so that's just saying that we can't offer anything to God that he hasn't already given us first. So everything that we have, everything here, he gave us. Now, specifically, he gave us the earth. So in Psalm 24, verse 1, it says that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and those who dwell therein. So that's just saying that God made everything, therefore everything belongs to him. But he did give it to us. So it's his to begin with, but he gave it to us as a gift. And we see that in Genesis, the very first chapter, in verse 28. It says, "And God blessed them, and God said to them, Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the birds of the heavens and over every living thing that moves on the earth. And God said, Behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the face of the earth, and every tree seed in its fruit. You shall have them for food. And to every beast of the earth and every bird of the heavens and to everything that creeps on the earth, everything that has breath of life, I have given every green plant for food," and it was so. So God gave us the earth to have dominion over and have authority over. So then if you go a little bit farther into the story, in Genesis chapter 2, verse 15, it says, "The Lord took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to work it and keep it." Now, other translations say that he put them in the Garden of Eden to cultivate it and keep it. And to cultivate the earth, if you think like automatically the meaning for that would be to plow and farm. But this could also be a synonym for like developing the earth. And as a society, we've developed in a way that not everything needs to be a farm. And so we need to develop the earth and our research and our resources in a way that is most useful for our society. But we also have to He then charged us as to keep it and to keep it safe. In the original culture, this would have meant to keep it safe from the animals and the weather and things like that. That way they had food. However, in today's society, the biggest threat to the earth and everything on it would be ourselves. We make things to make our lives easier, but those in turn turn out to destroy the earth long term. And that would be things like plastic and chemicals and things like that. But if you go to Revelation in chapter 11, verse 18, it says, "The nations raged, but your wrath came, and the time for the dead to be judged, and for rewarding your servants, the prophets and saints, and those who fear your name, both small and great, and for destroying the destroyers of the earth." And so Revelation obviously has not happened yet. If you know anything about the Bible, this is a future, it's a revelation of what's going to happen in the future. And so we can't take everything and know exactly what it means because obviously it hasn't happened yet. But it does say that it's going to destroy the destroyers of the earth. And destroy in this context, and the word that's used in the original language, can mean physical or moral. So it can be like, oh, you destroyed the morality of the earth. But it could also mean physically you destroyed the earth. But we don't really want to do either. So we have to take care of the earth and everything on it. But at the same time, we have to acknowledge that God is the one who created it and keep the morality behind it. How that goes into the zero waste movement is that they are trying, the zero waste movement, the low impact movement, is simply trying to keep the earth around for as long as possible in the original state that it was. So, like, we don't want plastic in the seas and things like that because it's hurting the animals and the ecosystems and things like that. I believe that from what I've read in the Bible, from what I've studied, that this is one way to take care of the earth that God has given us and to be good stewards of his creation. I can link in the description box all of the verses and all of the references and things like that I've used. Other videos that I found about taking care of the earth and some of the zero waste things like that, so you guys can go do your own research. Subscribe, hit the little notification bell, and I hope to see you guys in my next video.